Well, good morning, everybody. It is that time of the day for August 4th, 2020. It is Sports Talk with Corey today, and it is I'm Corey, your host as well. It is a pleasure to be back with you today. We're going to talk about sports today. I got a pretty big slate, so I'm going to go cover a couple things today, and hopefully you like what you see. Remember, at the end of the program, I'm going to put up the extension. You got to bring some questions in, everybody. Please, please, please ask some questions so I can debate with you or try to see who's right and who's wrong on sports topics. So at the end of the show, we'll get the number ready, and I do have a surprise for you guys before the end of the show. I brought a pair of basketball shoes, and I will show you what they look like at the end of the show. So we're gonna get started today. First topic today we're gonna talk about is baseball. As you know, the Twins had a good start to the season. They've been playing pretty well. They're 8-2, I believe, to start out in 10 games. They are playing Pittsburgh right now. They're playing a series with Pittsburgh Pirates, I believe, today. So they will be doing that. We want to talk about COVID-19 and Major League Baseball. I believe the St. Louis Cardinals organization has had 13 more positive COVID tests. So now it looks like there's 19 people infected. And, you know, they played the Twins about a week and a half ago in a series. So thankfully, the Twins have tested negative. They've been testing them every day. So none of our Twins players are infected or anything like that. The game yesterday we're going to talk a couple things. I'm going to talk about the most recent series game last night. We're playing the Pittsburgh Pirates, I believe, and they're an NL team, and we did not play very well for the first 6 innings, and then all of a sudden the Twins turn it on. In the 6th inning they got some runs going. They were trailing 4-0, and then I believe in the 6th inning somebody hit a single, and it was contagious. And then by the time the 9th inning came around, Nelson Cruz, our all-star big guy who's been hitting home runs, hit a line drive to get the winning run. So they ended up winning 5-4 in a lackluster game the first 6 innings. It was highly boring, but I was watching and I turned the TV off because I'm thinking, all right, the Twins are done. I turned back and it's like 4-1. So then I actually started watching again, and they actually got their act together. So it was pretty good. So they're playing pretty well. I'm happy with their play. I'm more of a perfectionist. I expect them to hit home runs every time they go up to the plate. So don't mind me. I'm kind of tough on the Twins, but they played a good game. The other thing about COVID-19 is, I believe the Detroit Lions and the Cardinals were going to play a weekend, a doubleheader, but they're not going to play any games because of COVID-19. They've scrapped the whole thing, and they're going to be everybody, the 13 players are in quarantine now back at home. They were in the hotel all week, so they haven't played any games. And the same thing with the Miami Marlins. A week and a half ago, the Florida Marlins, as I could call them, Miami Marlins now, they had an outbreak, and they have not played a lot of games either. So we'll see. The commissioner had said that he was going to scrap the season, but I'm hoping that they don't do that. So let's pray that he said that they're going to keep going the course, but if any more outbreaks continue, he may have to shut the season down. So let's not hope that happens, because the Twins are playing extremely well, and we don't want them cutting the season off right now while they're playing well. So stay tuned on that. Hockey news: the Wild won their first playoff game on Sunday, so they're up 1-0. I believe they're playing tonight for game 2. They've been playing really well. Their defensive line, their wings. I watched a little bit of the game, and boy, man, they are physical. They were pretty physical in the first couple of seconds of the game. Man, a fight broke out, and I was just like, man, 19 seconds into the game, and people are already trying to take the gloves off and duke each other. I was like, wow. But I think that kind of set the tone for the game a little bit, and it's going to be a physical series all the way up. Hopefully the Wild can sweep them, but we're going to take one game at a time, and we're going to hope they can win tonight. I believe it's a late game tonight, if I'm not mistaken. But Patty has all the game information up on the boards throughout the building, so you can look for that and be able to see what time they play. So the Wild look good. I hope they play good tonight. I'm a little concerned because when you come off a physical game, it tends to take a lot out of you physically and mentally. So let's hope their brains are together today up there. So we'll see what happens with that. WNBA news: the Lynx have actually been playing pretty well. They're 3-1. They won their last game. I was reading in the paper, Cheryl Reeve, who's the head coach, is really concerned because they've been playing back-to-back games, and it's starting to take a toll on a lot of the teams because remember they started a 22-game season, and now this next stretch, they were off yesterday, but they're going to start playing again. They got 7 games in 11 days. So, she's really concerned, about playing minutes, how her team is going to respond. That's a lot of fatigue in the game. So we'll see how that goes. So who knows? But I'm hoping they can continue. I've been watching a lot of games. They've been flat the first half, but then for some reason the light bulb turns on in the second half, and they start making plays, and they start playing really, really good and winning close games. So we'll see how that goes. So, NBA news. The NBA has already started, and they've been doing their season. And right now, there hasn't been any positive COVID tests for the NBA. So they have 0 positive tests in the last 2 weeks. Same thing with hockey. Hockey is not, not to get back on hockey, but I forgot to address that. There's no COVID positive tests in hockey either. So that's really, really good. But the quality of games have been really good. I've been watching a lot of them after work, and when I get home, I've been watching a lot of them. And again, I keep saying that no fan factor is really depressing. There's no fans, just like with baseball, hockey, or anything. There's no fan interaction. And when you watch the sports, when somebody scores or somebody dunks a ball, you get fans jumping all over the place and getting crazy. I mean, it's just it's a different breed. So we'll see what happens with that. Minnesota Viking news, as you know, they re-signed Mike Zimmer to a multi-year contract, so he's not going anywhere. And then Sunday, they decided to re-sign Rick Spielman, who's the Vikings general manager. So they're going to be around for a while, so we'll see what happens with that. Dalvin Cook, who's our starting running back, and his agent are still trying to get a contract. Dalvin Cook is in his last year of his contract, and he's trying to get a contract extension to stay. So they're trying to work on that. We'll see how that goes. That's always a tough situation when you're trying to get a contract with money, and that stuff is pretty tight. So we'll see how that goes. A lot of the NFL players, some of the star players, have been opting out of the season. So we may not see a lot of the top NFL players on each team, depending on what happens. A lot of them have the option to opt out of the season if they don't want to play due to COVID. So we're seeing a lot of those every day. Somebody is opting out of the season. And I understand. If you have a child or you have a family, you don't want to bring that back to your family. And so we'll see how much of a season we have. But I'm hoping we have a season, but with players opting out, it's going to be a different type of football because you're used to seeing your star player in the game, and if he's not there, some people don't like to watch unless their star player on their team is playing. So we'll see how that goes. There's no college news that I've heard of any yet, so we can't really talk about college or anything. I haven't heard anything other than they're trying to get the conference schedules for each team that's participating in college football, because like the Gophers, we're in the Big Ten, so they're only going to play conference games this year. They're not going to play anybody outside their conference, so they're trying to work on those conference schedules. So we'll see how that goes. So Let me see. I mean, it's been kind of a whirlwind, with baseball and hockey starting. It's just like I've had to have two TVs on at once to try to get all the information and watch. So it's kind of cool, but it's exciting to see some type of sports, even though it's not what we want. For me, it's always tough, because I'm an athlete, and my season is canceled for my flag football and my basketball, so it's hard to being an athlete to not be able to play. But then imagine for them to at least get to play is kind of exciting for some of us, depending on what your viewers or situation is. So yeah, it all varies. So that's pretty much what's going on with news. But I have a surprise for you today. While Patty is viewing this, I'm talking to the microphone, so you may not see me, but I just picked these up, and these are a pair of my new basketball shoes I was going to wear for this season, but unfortunately, due to COVID, we don't have that now. These are called these are LeBron James signature shoes, so these are pretty cool. These are the LeBron 17 remix 17s, and this is his signature shoe. As you can see on the bottom, his signature is on the bottom of the shoe. So, and as you can see, it's pretty clean. I mean, I call them icy soles, so they're brand new, and yeah, they're pretty nice. You see the pattern on it. He has some kind of, it says passion and some other wordings on the shoe. So it's a pretty cool shoe. And like I said, it comes in a pretty cool box right here. He has all kinds of writing on the box. So, but yeah, I'm pretty excited about these. And these are the signature shoe that I play basketball. And I don't usually wear any other basketball shoe but LeBron's. So, as you can see, these are my work LeBron's. And as you know, I like LeBron, so I usually wear his shoe a lot. So. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy. From time to time, I'll try to bring a shoe in to show you a different shoe. Maybe on our next taping, I'll bring in a pair of Jordans or something that's pretty exciting. So again, I wanted to thank the Activities Department, Patty, Amy, all the people that put this together and do it. I thank you very much. I always like to give credit where credit is due, because without them, there's no me. So. And with that, I want you to call this number, this extension. This is Patty's voicemail. You can leave her a message with a question. And again, I highly encourage you to ask questions. We do this segment, and one of the things that I enjoy about this segment is to talk sports, but I like to know what your guys' feedback with certain things in sports. So. Or comments, if this is too low or too high, or if there's a different subject you want to talk about, we can also talk about that. I try to keep it local, with the wild sports and the U and all that. So please make sure you do that. Okay? Well, with that, it has been my pleasure to be with you for this 10, 12, 13 minutes of the day. I hope everybody has a blessed day, and I will see you guys again real soon in the near future. God bless. Goodbye.